he first of all called to say, I just read an article about Pope Francis, and I want to see what you think about it. And it's one of the articles where Pope Francis is saying that Adam and Eve, did he say that they weren't real? I think so. At least that's what the media was saying. And that there was, hell was not a place of fire or something like that. And he wanted to know what I thought about that. And I said, well, if you listen to my show, you're going to find that basically I agree with him wholeheartedly, because if Adam and Eve were the only two people that were created first, we would have a lot of incest and a lot of unhealthy people in this world, and we wouldn't have the mankind, period. I mean, if you can't start with just two people. It's impossible and then all the world to be filled up. So Adam and Eve stood symbolic for mankind being created. And the other thing, and maybe they were the first created, but they were sure a lot more created, had to be. And the other thing that, the hell thing, I shared with him all the stories that I've talked to y'all about on these shows here, about heaven and hell and purgatory and all the points that God has given me over the years about hell, especially being a place of darkness. In fact, we just talked about this last week, Johnny, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. So anyhow, him and I were really having a very good conversation. At one point, though, I asked him to pray for a loved one of mine who is dealing with a very angry husband, and he uses the F word nearly every 3 words. And so this started up a whole lengthy conversation where Steph couldn't, he says, why is this word so, you dislike this word so? But I'm not going to get into the conversation because Steph can get really long with his explanations and trying to get me to understand where he's coming from and so forth and so on. And eventually, in his effort to try to get me to understand, we both reached the point that I'm not hearing the words that I need to hear, Steph. So he tried to once more explain again. And it was so wonderful because when he started to explain again, he got down to, it says in the Bible, in the beginning was the Word.
Mm-hmm.
And then he explains how words can trigger within us this chord. Remember my son and the strobe lights? And this chord within us that resonates and goes out. I'm listening to him and I'm going, whoa, that's God speaking right there through him. And he didn't even realize God was. But he was talking about exactly the same thing that we're talking about right now in the show, the power of the joyful noise, the joyful shout, and the Word. And the beginning was the Word. And as soon as he said those words, and they continued to talk about it, resonating in us and triggering within us either anger or a memory that needs to be healed and so forth and so on, my mind was just being blown away. And I was able to share with him that, hey, look, you just gave me confirmation about what we're supposed to talk about today. And he continued on with the conversation. And the next thing he does and brings up is the very same thing I've talked to y'all about the way the voices inside of us and how they keep us, we should behave this way, we should act this way, and so forth. And as soon as he said a line there, I'm just going, here he goes again. God choosing him to confirm. And the fact that he called me was a miracle, right before a phone call right before this show. Because he just doesn't do that. It just, here he is calling me out of the blue to talk about Pope Francis. And I'm going, wow. And then he was also quoting the fact that the Pope was saying that we are all members of God's family. And no matter who we are, no matter what faith we are in, homosexual, Muslim, everybody's a member of the family of God. And we should all be treated with love and respect, etc. And we all belong to this. I think he used the word church. This is upsetting a lot of people because they're indicating that he thinks we all belong to one church, and this is upsetting Catholics and Protestants. But anyhow, back to what I was saying about he was very impressed about what the Pope was saying about how we're one. And I told him, Steph, If you were to listen to my shows or these shows from the very beginning, Carl, what was the theme or the pieces of our whole show about God? God is love. If you live in love, God lives in you.
Yeah.
And it is not about this relationship. Each person has a relationship with God, and that's their own personal journey. And to say you need to belong to this church or that church or whatever, no, you belong. You live in love, and it's that simple. It goes back to that. In the beginning was the Word. That's when he brought in the fact that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was love.
Yeah.
I think that's what he said. That's just so awesome how God just set everything up. I'm watching my time here. So I was given another gift today from God in several ways, because after he hung up, again, I started to cry, and I realized, boy, do I need to get to that someone to pray with me, because he was really bringing up some triggering within me, some deep things that needed to be loosened and brought up and healed that was causing my shortness of breath and the tightness in my chest and everything, and probable subconscious anxiety that I wasn't even aware that was there. So God is good, always, always, always wonderful. All right, joyful shout, and I want to get to that. Joyful shout, and what was the other? No, noise. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord.
Yeah.
Give me some, not religious way, but just some everyday way that you can make a joyful noise when you're happy.
Oh, wow. I like to hum. I'm a real hummer kind of guy. Walking down the street, I hum to myself a lot. So that's and that's definitely, I mean, it comes from joy inside. So sure, that's I don't know.
Okay, Carl, what is the favorite thing that you will put on Facebook
A favorite thing that
when you're happy?
Oh, I like to say wee.
Yeah, you do. Lee is right. And the other thing, that when people are at a football game, a basketball game, what do? Scream their heads off. When they're happy. They're just happy. There used to be a song. There's just so many ways that you can do this without coming across like a religious fool. But if you do it, and if you are making these joyful noises, so silently inside of you, though, you can be going, yes, God, that's one of my I love this expression when I see something in nature. That's awesome. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. Wouldn't you look at that? Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? The Zippity-Doo-Dah used to be a fantastic song. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, just any kind of music that makes you happy. Get it on so that it can bring you out of whatever you're in that's taking you down. Johnny, I clicked on, you do the Sunday show, don't you?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Okay, well, I clicked on the one that was the last end of the year one just to see what your show was like. I loved that very first song.
Oh.
The Road Not Taken or something like that?
Yeah.
I tried to find it so I can listen to the words again. I couldn't find it.
It's an exclusive. It's not available on the internet yet. It's one of my friends. So, yeah, it's not out there yet. Soon.
Yeah, it really it was neat. And I will, you can turn, the show that Johnny Odo does is called the Sunday Show, and it's the very beginning of the show. They play this song. It's on the December 28th, was it, I think?
Yeah.
And it's The Road Not Taken, and it's so unique. And I was trying to listen to all the words in it, but I really like the sound of that song.
I'll see if I can get you a copy of it.
And there's so many out there.
Yeah.
So many songs that make you feel good. We ended our show one time with, bring me sunshine with your smile, bring me happiness all the while. I love that song. The Jive Aces do it. And if you turn that video on YouTube, you can't help but be happy watching that video. Just awesome. I know each and every one of you have songs like that you need to have on your favorites list. And when you need it, get it out. And do something, get it out and enjoy. Just make a joyful noise and get up and dance. Dance before the Lord. Sing with glad tambourine. that dancing does, get you. Oh boy, is it a good thing? It's good to dance before the Lord, and just you don't have to think in terms of religion here. Just dance, have a good time. When you're walking down the street, have you ever, like I'm walking in Walmart, have you ever done a little cool move every now and then and acting like, well, yeah, get that little groove going? And people give you the look, and you can just smile back at them, bring some sunshine into their life, and say, hey, I'm a crazy fool, but that's okay. I don't care what, it's good to be a fool for God. That's all there's to it. So think of some of the other ways that we make a joyful noise. I'm trying to think of some of the other expressions that we use that are common every day. Hoorah!
Hoorah.
That Marine one.
Yeah,
hoorah.
hoorah.
I like that. I really do.
Yeah.
It's so much better. That was one of the things that we talked about. My son and I was talking about 15 minutes of the conversation was around the F word, and why is it I see it in such a negative way? And when you think about it, I said, Steph, I cannot associate F with it in a positive way, the F word, and neither can I associate it as a love word. Mm. And he used the expression, he says, what if somebody says, I'm having how did he put it, a wonderful effing time? I said, well, the only way you could say that is if you're in bed with your wife, Steph.
That's true.
And because that's what the word means to me, and when people say it, that somehow I can't get any other meaning in it. That I screw you, that's what they're meaning when they say it. Yeah. And he was saying that Carlin. Oh, that goes back to that ripple effect of how we ended our conversation, and I thanked him so much for bringing that up. I said, Steph, let's look at this. In the beginning was the Word. So if we realize that in the beginning, whatever word we say sets up what's going to follow next. Mm. Isn't that profound?
Yeah, that is. Wow.
And that's straight from God. Whatever word we choose to say, it's going to build. It's going to build. And how we say it, it's going to build. Okay, I think we need to go out. I can't get over this show today and how God set it up. As always, He just does a good job. And I'm so happy, and I feel better, and I thank God for it, and I'm just claiming that whatever I went through for 9 months, that baby's been delivered, and I know I need to go one more step further and get prayed over by a Spirit-filled person. There's one more song that I listened to, and I think we're just going to go out with it,
okay.
And because I want y'all to just enjoy. And it's the Mercy Me. Go look it up real quick. Shake, and y'all have fun with it. It's just awesome. Until then, while he's looking it up, may the joy of the Lord be in your heart, and go about making joyful noises and happy noises and happy words. Choose to use happy, loving words. Did you find it yet?
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, let's go.
Okay,
Till
thank you.
next week, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
I just can't believe where my life was at. All that I know is my heart was broken. I don't ever want to go back. Ain't no explanation how I saw the light. He found me and he set me free, and he brought me back to life. Blame it on the transformation, change down to the core. This love is real and I can't sit still, 'cause my name's not shame no more. Great God Almighty, don't change me. Great God Almighty, He don't change me. You gotta shake, 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 like you change. Brand new look so good on you, so shake like you've been changed. Come on, shake, shake like you change. Shake like you change. Maybe He came to you when everything seemed fine, or maybe